There's a look at one of the most iconic sports venues in the lower 48, built back in 1957 under the title of City Stadium. We are at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Green Bay Packers. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. His first carry. He takes this for 3 to the 29. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Give him 10 there, good enough for a Packer first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On the ground, Michel. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. 2nd and 9 now. Gets this one to Juszczyk. Give him 2 yards on that play, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit, right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
And now off to the races down the right side. So not only do they get the fumble recovery on the punt, but now look at this field position. He almost took it the distance.
And the ability to not just make the play, but turn it into something big, that's what coaches harp on all the time. How do we create big plays that'll change the game? And that may have been one that just did.
To throw is Watson. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Darius Slayton, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks. But
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Here's J.K. Scott now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That's pulled in at the 32. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
It was the linebacker Leonard Floyd on the stop. From just shy of midfield, Watson. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they'll bring him down right at midfield, and he is well short of the 1st down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Taking it about the 16. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. A battle for it here, and this will be caught. Give them 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the 1st as well.
The catch, deservedly so, is going to get a lot of credit, but even more so because there's a defender there ready to make a play.
Yeah, just flat out muscled on that one. Now a 1st down carry. It's Michelle. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. Blitz coming, and down he goes. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Oh, I nearly broke that one. As it stands, though, a heck of a 36-yard run back. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, first and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here first and 10, right at the 50-yard line. From the 50, it's Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They'll run on first down. It's Taylor. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Now a handoff here to his running back. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
From the gun on third, Watson. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice gain.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Kahale Waring, his first touchdown on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter, out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
Fairbairn good with the extra point. And that'll make the score 14-0. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now. The Packers on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 16. They'll set up to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Watson going to pull back the handoff and keep it himself. They'll get this out wide to Taylor. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Deshaun Watson with his 3rd touchdown pass of this first half. And the Texans push further out in front. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
That play was well covered. Just tried to check it down. Unfortunately, not able to find any yardage on that one.
What you got, Heavy? Give me some. Give me some. Here we go.
2nd and 13. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DJ Reader in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They'll drop the throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage.
Let's go.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give them a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's Watson. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Watson. That's complete to Slayton. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half.
28. Packers nothing.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
Here we go.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive. But they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
They'll try and throw for it here. The open man is Smith. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Texans scoop it. And an alley to run. There he goes, right side. And they will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Texans touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half.
Fairbairn, the kicker.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 7 yards there and a first down.
50%.
So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, it's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. On second down, it's Sutton. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Check 55, Mike. You're not ready. You're not ready.
Watson on third down. Got a man, Slayton. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Throwing on second and long. Watson off the screen pass. That's complete. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 2nd down now, it's Taylor. And some room to work. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 36 yards on the play.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. They'll try the air now with Watson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me that option of running play action, maybe throwing it.
So an incomplete pass a moment ago, and that leads to 2nd and goal. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. Boy, that's a 5-yard loss. 4th down now. Such a long drive here. 3 points. That would be a disappointment, but I don't know if you can go for it here, can you?
Well, you know, the defense was really giving them a lot all the way downfield, and now they've stiffened. Forget that bend, don't break. Now they don't even want to let them get a yard, do they? So in this spot, remember what the coaches told us before the ball game? Any drive that ends with a kick is going to be okay with us, whether it's a punt, a field goal, or an extra point. Take the field goal right here.
And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big...
This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And it's a touchdown. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. That's fielded in the end zone. And he will take it back only to about the 13-yard line here.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Single. 41 Mike, right here. Here we go. Hey,
After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. He's going to loft one deep, and he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Lonnie Johnson picks. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added on to their lead, but that was a drive that was so long it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the game, but we probably should go to the post-game press conference because someone's going to ask the head coach about this drive, and he's going to profess that he was happy to get points, and we know that's not true.
Yeah.
Okay, after this type of a drive, not getting a touchdown, a huge disappointment.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback. 31. D-line, get that quarterback.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long.
And it's 3rd down.
What is that? 18. 5. Hey, watch that. Hey, watch the ball. Tighten up. 24 down. He's coming. Hey, 59. Check 55 to Mike. Check 55. Man, let's go.
On 3rd down, Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season. The Texans send the punter out as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Taken in at the 11, and he'll go out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. A good kick, 49 yards, just 3 on the return. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And last time, 1-play interception, so this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling, because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback you got a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
They'll look to throw here. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A gain there of 21 yards. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now back to throw. He's got the first down and more past midfield. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Now an open man. That's the tight end, Gesicki. It's complete. 14 yards. Good for a Packer 1st down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Ready? 70, Indy. 50. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Get it.
Here's 2nd and 8. A screen to Bell. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out.
Whip, 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 whip. Watch the whip.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. So now the Packers turn things over to the special teams crew. They're on for the field goal try. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
Hey, keep it up, keep it up.
Now a handoff here to his running back. He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
On 3rd down, Taylor. It's a pickup of 4, but they're still a yard short here with 4th down, forthcoming. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the 1st down. Close it out.
The Texans send the punter out as he's on to kick it away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DJ Reader has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. And a short 3-yard pickup gets him up to the 15.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make the play...
Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. And the Texans scoop it. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, man, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give them 7 there on the 1st down carry. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
Hey, lock it. Man up, D. Man up, D. Pick that, pick that. Go. Come.
Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving. They were looking good on 2nd down, but now they're backed up 5 yards by the false start, and it's 2nd and 8.
I'm coming after you. Check 31, check 31. But Steve Griffin.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you drop it.
And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy.
Ready?
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's going to let it fly. And this is going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Texans take over an excellent field position.
High kick set. Delay take. Army.
On first down, Taylor. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll be brought down at about the 42. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go. On third down, Sutton. And he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And, well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on fourth down. This officially a 55-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good, and this score will stay right where it is. A 55-yard attempt, normally you'd say well within his range. A little surprised he came up short.
And he knew it immediately, didn't he? They are so calibrated, aren't they? They can tell the touch, the feel. When they put the foot to the ball, whether it's going to be good or not, he knew immediately he didn't have that one.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Complete. Smith has it. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Now the Packers going to burn their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game.
Hey. Look. Squeeze. Rip left. Switch it. Shoot.
Back to throw now on first down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Let's go. Watch it. Let's go.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And that will write a finish to this ball game. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
Now one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Texans, they'll finish the first half of the schedule dead even at 4-4. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Packers, they dipped to 2-5 now with the loss. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit to take on the Lions. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.